And now, as promised, we're going to be moving into session 3 of this afternoon, regional cooperation and innovation in accelerating the energy transition towards 2030. So please join me in welcoming on stage our panelists, starting with Warid Ratanachun, Assistant Governor, Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand. We're also pleased to have with us Dr. Wang Wei-sheng, Chief Technology Officer, China Electric Power Research Institute. We're honored today also to have His Excellency Dr. Ahmed Mohina, First Under-Secretary of Strategic Planning, who will be speaking on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Mustafa Esmat, Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy of Egypt. And of course, joining them is Claire McLaughlin, Head of Division Energy Performance and Security, Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment and Water, Australia. And moderating this esteemed panel is Mr. Francisco Gaffaro, Team Lead, Power Sector Transformation from IRENA's Innovation and Technology Center. And without further ado, Mr. Francisco Gaffaro, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much to be here at this hour. It's really an honor and a pleasure for me to moderate this panel. As we have seen and discussed over the last 2 days, we are moving towards decarbonization. ASEAN and the world is doing that. Innovation and cooperation are not only essential drivers for this process, but also they represent unique opportunities for growth and transformation at regional and national levels. Today, in this panel, we are going to explore how these two elements, innovation and cooperation, can help to unlock the full potential of the energy transition, ensuring that no country is left behind. We know that there's no single solution, there's no silver bullet for achieving decarbonization. So each country and each region has its own characteristics and its own solutions. And we're very lucky here to have representatives from 3 continents sharing their diverse vision and diverse solutions. I would like to start with Dr. Mohina. And Dr. Mohina, could you talk to us about the opportunities and challenges that you see for the energy transition in Egypt?
Thank you so much for having me to be with you today to give you an overview about what we are doing in Egypt about the energy transition. But let me say that at the beginning, that energy transition has to be not an option, but it is a mandatory regarding all the changes on the atmosphere and the environment and so on. Since Rio de Janeiro Planet Summit, which launched 3 important conventions, one to the desert and the other for biodiversity, and the last one for the climate change. And also after Paris Agreement, energy transition must be achieved in the near future to protect our planet from all strange phenomena such as storms and so on. Egypt started its energy transition many years ago, especially 2016 when we launched a very important strategy targeting to maximize the share of renewable energy to be more than 42% by 2035. And now we are updating our strategy to achieve this, to maximize again the share of renewable energy to be more than 42% by 2040. And also we set the new target and the new objective to achieve our target for energy transition to be achieved by 2030 instead of 2035, depending on our ambitious program, which is called NWAFI program, which is the nexus between water, food, and energy, targeting to replace the inefficient power plants by renewable energy plants, wind and solar. And also we updated our national determined contribution last year to accelerate and expedite our efforts to achieve the energy transition. In this regard, Egypt is very rich in renewable energy resources. So we have a very big potential in wind and solar, more than 200 gigawatt from wind and solar. We allocated 40,000 kilometers square to implement our projects in this regard. Now we reached around 21% from renewable energy as a share of our energy mix. And also we have a very ambitious target regarding energy efficiency to reach 18% from our energy consumption based on our energy consumption in 2010. So energy transition now in Egypt is going in the right way to achieve our objectives on that, but in the same situation, we are targeting to develop the life of our citizens. So we would like to implement the energy transition with the just energy transition to achieve the development of our citizens in the same direction of protect our planet in cooperation with our friends and our partners all over the world.
Thank you very much. Talking about challenges for the energy transition, we all know that the more renewables or the more sources that we bring to the network, then we increase the need for expanding and enhancing the grid infrastructure. In the case of China, Dr. Weisheng, could you tell us what is the experience about strengthening grid interconnections and enhancing the capacity for cross-regional transmission?
Oh, thanks. It's my pleasure to attend the forum concerning China's renewable energy development. As you know, is in past 2 decades, the capacity of renewable power in China increased very fast. In 2004, we only have less than 1 gigawatts of wind and solar. But in 2014, 10 years ago, we already reached 120 gigawatts. Nowadays, it's 1,200 gigawatts. So during this period, it's a challenge for grid to accommodate such amount of renewable energy capacity. In China, I think the accommodation, it depends on several factors. But the first is the grid expansion, because both wind and solar resources cannot be transmitted like coal or oil. So we must build a more strong grid to accommodate renewable energy output. In China, the most renewable energy resources located in west and north of China. During the past decade, we built a very large, very long and high-level transmission lines from north to south, from west to east. As you know, in China, we develop ultra-high voltage DC transmission technology, and ultra-high voltage AC transmission technology, 1,000 kilowatt and 800 kilowatt DC, 1,000 kilowatt AC transmission technologies. Now we have built more than 35 transmission lines with the highest power, the highest capacity of nearly 10 gigawatt. So the grid expansion support the rapid increasing of renewable energy development. During the grid expansion and increasing of renewable power, of course, we need to do the feasibility studies to maximum and coordinate the renewable energy development and the grid expansion. During this period, of course, in order to maintain the stability operation of the grid, we need to improve the grid performance of renewable power plant and also to formulate the technical standards and to help the renewable energy developers and also grid operators to manage such a grid with a high share of renewable power.
Wow. Besides this impressive growth or expansion of the transmission grid, what significant achievements have China made in technological innovations for renewable energy integration? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Thanks. We mainly focus on for the innovation and the technology improvement. We can say we just focus on 2 points. One is the evaluation and the prediction of renewable power output. We built a dedicated numerical weather forecast center in state grid, jointly with the scientists in meteorology sectors. So we continue to improve the accuracy of output of both wind and solar. On the other hand, we built a test site. In this test site, we can validate the performance of wind turbine prototype and PV inverters. In near future, in China, we are building a new power system dominated by renewable power. So the dominated in this level, we must ask the renewable power. Some behavior should similar or even better than conventional power plant. So we just focus on these aspects, and this help the renewable energy industry to get a more, we can better understand the characteristic of renewable power and also improve their abilities to manage a renewable power plant.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we have discussed about challenges, visions, innovation, of course, but now let's talk a little bit about cooperation. Ms. McLaughlin, can you share with us how is Australia supporting the energy transition in the region?
Thanks very much for that question, and it's a fantastic pleasure to be here. This is a really important forum, and it's my first time at Singapore International Energy Week, and it hopefully won't be my last. Australia recognises that the net zero transition will require a collective global effort. A lot of the aspects of that have been covered in various of the panels through the afternoon. But for Australia's part, we're working really closely with international partners to accelerate ambitious climate action, build new clean energy industries, and ensure energy security. We're committed to deepening cooperation to support the regional and global energy transformation, increase and diversify clean energy supply chains, promote new net zero related trade and investment opportunities, and drive emissions reduction and technology development. I wanted to give a few specific examples of what we're doing to work closely with neighbours in Southeast Asia, in particular, to drive regional decarbonisation and an orderly transition to net zero by 2050. We recognise our regional partners' objectives to grow their economies and address energy inequality, and we work with our rapidly industrialising partners across Southeast Asia to support the energy transition while ensuring energy security, reliability and increasing access. This includes establishing a $2 billion investment financing facility to boost investment in Southeast Asia as part of a suite of economic initiatives announced at the ASEAN Australia Special Summit in Melbourne earlier this year, working closely with ASEAN under our new comprehensive strategic partnership on regional efforts to transition to net zero, and engaging in the Energy Ministers meeting of the East Asia Summit as the Indo-Pacific's premier forum for strategic dialogue on political, security and economic challenges. In Indonesia, in particular, we're deepening our bilateral cooperation on the energy transition through the partnerships such as the ministerial-led Australia-Indonesia Energy Dialogue and government-to-government MOUs on cooperation in energy transition. We're stepping up our climate action cooperation with Vietnam, providing $105 million to help Vietnam's uptake of clean energy and clean energy infrastructure. With Singapore, we're pursuing new innovative ways to facilitate trade and climate action, including through the first of its kind Green Economy Agreement. One of the key messages, I think, coming out of today's discussions and this week in general for us is about the critical factor of interconnectivity, the prospects of the ASEAN power grid, and we'll be looking for further opportunities to work on cross-border electricity trade and other fundamental underpinnings that will support the transition for the region and the world's transition to net zero. Thank you.
Thank you. Talking about interconnection, innovation, and again, cooperation, Dr. Mohina, in the case of Egypt, what is the vision regarding interconnections? Do you have, what are the current goals or what is the expected future situation?
Yes, yani, electrical interconnection between countries, one of the main parameters to secure electricity and to secure the energy to the citizens and the development plans of any country. So we are working very hard on that. We already have a very ambitious target and objective to that Egypt to be a hub for electrical interconnection in the region. Egypt is located in a very important location between three continents, Africa, Asia, and Europe. So we are connected with the Arab Mashriq through Jordan with capacity of 500 megawatt, and we already connected with Libya, with Arab Maghreb countries with capacity of 200 megawatt, and we are connected with Sudan from south with 80 megawatt, and we are working very hard to maximize this amount of electricity to be more than 300 megawatt. And we have a very important project under implementation now to connect with Saudi Arabia with capacity of 3,000 megawatt. After that, we will be connected with Gulf countries. But it is very important to work to connect with Europe. Europe is a very strong grid, so we are targeting to connect with Europe to export green energy to Europe. And also, we are working with the Chinese organization, which GEDECO, to see the long-term vision for electrical interconnection to connect all regions all over the world with green energy I think Egypt it will be one of the hubs for the green energy for electrical interconnection. To move very quick in this point, we need a strong regional cooperation between all regions. I think it can be one of the main points to be discussed in all events and summits, to see what are the barriers and obstacles to resist the connection between regions. I know that the political situation and the cost and the economical situation, but we need to work hard to solve all barriers in this regard to facilitate how we can connect between all regions all over the world.
Thank you very much. Okay, we are running out of time. So to conclude this discussion, Ward, maybe I would like to hear your talks regarding what our panelists have discussed about cooperation, innovation, and these needs. Also, what has been discussed over these 2 days. What are your thoughts on all these issues? Of course, related to the path that we all are taking on decarbonization.
Okay, I think the innovation that I may separate to the two groups. The first group is the commercial, right? It's okay, renewable and energy storage is a key driver for that. In Southeast Asia, we have the source of renewable too much in Laos, PDR, in Myanmar, and some country. And we have the demand in Singapore, we have the demand in Thailand, we have the demand in Vietnam, in Malaysia. That's why we need the cooperation, not only infrastructure, not only the ASEAN power kit that are bring the power together between the country in the Southeast Asia. I think the regulation, we need a regulation about the power trading, and we need some acceptance about the cross-border energy attribute certificate cross-border. To that is not maybe it's not aligned with the guarantee of the origin criteria now, and I think we need some criteria to carry the EAC cross-border. It's for renewable energy, and for the energy storage, I think we need the technical support. Okay, we have the pump hydro is one choice. We have the battery is the second choice, but the battery we think to the two kind of the battery. One is the second life or repurposed battery from the EV industry. From the EV industry, after you use a 7 year, 8 year, and it can bring to be the energy storage in the grid scale, and you need a new battery to regulate this power system. It's an innovation that we need technical support and maybe the financial support from some country to another country in our area. And for the second group of the innovation, I think we need the technical support. I think the hydrogen, carbon capture, and SMR may be the next step of the technology that we choose to be explored. And blue hydrogen is maybe the key driver in this area. When we talk about the blue hydrogen, it's okay, technology of the hydrogen and carbon capture is a need to support and accelerate the more reliable electricity to supply for the region.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all for your participation in this short discussion, but very fruitful. I think, I mean, we have, like, as I say, very happy that we have like 3 different continents, and we see that challenges are the same, path or objective is the same, solutions are probably the same, but maybe the combination will depend on the characteristics of each region, and this is what, like, the question that we need to solve, or that we're working on. So please, one applause to all the panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our wonderful panelists for that interactive and insightful discussion. Let's have a photo together right now on the stage. So we just get our panelists to move to the front and center. All right. Let's give our cameras a big smile. One more for the camera. Here we go, big smiles. Beautiful, well done. And of course, that was our panel on regional cooperation and innovation in accelerating the energy transition towards 2030. Thank you so much to our wonderful panelists for that fruitful discussion. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the 2024 Singapore-IRENA High Level Forum. We'd like to thank all our distinguished ministers and industry CEOs for their kind support. Now, before we go, I'd like to ask you to share with us your feedback on our ACES app. If you open the app, you will find a survey icon. Let us know what you think of the program so far. And here's a gentle reminder as well on the SIEW Connex reception at Milo's, which is at basement 1 of the shops at Marina Bay Sands. Registration begins at 5:30 p.m. And of course, this SIEW Connex reception at Milo's is sponsored by DBS Bank. So don't forget to be there at 5:30 p.m. and bring your passes along as well. May we now invite everyone to enjoy the tea break. This tea break is located in the ACES exhibition area opposite this ballroom. Please continue to join us in our ACES program for the rest of this week. Now, on behalf of the Sustainable Energy Association of Singapore, the Energy Market Authority, and the International Renewable Energy Agency, I would like to thank you all for joining us here today. Thank you so much. My name is Wayne Chen, and we'll see you tomorrow.